for them in all cases. We get the town Shinnex. Number 14. This taxes items that are imported into the colonies like paper, lead, glass, and tea. It replaces the direct taxes that were in the Stamp Act. Stamp Act is eventually repealed, replaced with the town Shinnex.
Glass, tea, sugar.
Not sugar. Sugar is with the Sugar Act. Glass, tea, paper, lead. Anything that's imported into the colonies. Right? It replaces the Stamp Act. 15. Boston Tea Party is a response to the Tea Act. This is where the citizens, more specifically the Sons of Liberty, which are headed by Samuel Adams, dressed like Native Americans. They dumped the tea in the harbor. Britain responds with the coercive or intolerable acts.
And the water?
Mhm.
What water?
Boston Harbor.
Barley.
16. First Continental Congress. Colonists meet to denounce the intolerable acts. They also write the Olive Branch Petition, petitioning the British government one more time for negotiation, some sort of peaceful resolution. They also draw up the Declaration of Necessity and Causes in order to take up arms.
So we got the Olive Branch petition.
Offering some sort of peaceful agreement to Great Britain. But they also draft that Declaration of the Necessity of the Causes to take up arms, something like that. I mean, like, they're just writing up reasons and that they would need to take up guns. Not arms, but guns.
My favorite this video.
Oh, I hope I forgot. At least I didn't go. It was just.
She just did.
Well, I didn't do it at anyone. It was just a little one. It's just little derringers instead of a big rifle.
I can see her like flying backwards.
First Continental Congress is the first time that if you are going to start suggesting breaking off from Great Britain, they don't follow through on that, but it is the first time that they do suggest that. They organize boycotts against all the stuff that is being taxed. AP review, sir. They also plan to meet about a year and a half later for a second Continental Congress. This is still 16. 17, Lexington and Concord, first official shots of the American Revolution. This is where we get the shots heard around the world, where William Dawes and Paul Revere do their little famous ride, "The British are coming, the British are coming." I don't know.
He was a silversmith, right?
He was some kind of like.
18, Second Continental Congress.
That's when they officially are like, all right, we're done, right? Like
Yes.
they wrote the Declaration.
But they are torn over the independence. George Washington is appointed to head the Boston Army. They write the Declaration of Independence.
In the Second Continental Congress.
Yes.
Isn't the Continental? They write the what?
Declaration of Independence.
George Washington is appointed.
Please make sure that you've turned in your ballots for Employee of the Year
I did that.
in the next 10 minutes. Thank you.
I did that.
He's appointed head of the army.
George Washington is appointed the head of the Boston Army, write the Declaration of Independence. They're torn over independence. Not everyone is all gung-ho, yay, let's do it. And they decide that the ports are going to continue to defy the Navigation Acts, saying that the colonies cannot export anything except to Britain or import anything except from Britain. So they're going to keep trading with whoever they want. The ports are still going to accept ships from everywhere, not just Britain. And they're still going to send off people to everywhere, not just Britain. 19. Thomas Paine publishes Common Sense. It supports independence. His overall point is that it doesn't make sense for someone else to control the colonies if they're an ocean away. This is going to weaken the resistance against independence. It weakens the resistance, puts more people in support of independence, or at least closer to on the fence. 20, Declaration of Independence, written by Thomas Jefferson. Even though, as we talked about, not everyone signs on July 4th, the date associated with it is July 4th, 1776. It justifies separation from Britain. It's influenced by John Locke. In the Declaration of Independence, it says we all have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. John Locke is life, liberty, and property. True or false? Declaration of Independence gives the colonies their independence.
False.
False. Yay. It took me, 3 weeks to break that out of you? 21. Treaty of Alliance, 1778.
That's when France joined?
France joins the colonies after the Battle of Saratoga. Between France and the colonies.
The Battle of Saratoga. No.
22. Battle of Yorktown, 1781. Cornwallis is going to surrender to Washington, and it is the last battle of the American Revolution.
Were there any skirmishes after that?
Not to my knowledge. Articles of Confederation go into effect 1781. States had most of the power. The federal government cannot tax, it cannot raise troops, or regulate commerce. Remember, commerce is just another word for trading, merchant. The federal government can declare war, it can make treaties, and it can make new states.
What?
They can declare war, they can participate in negotiating treaties, and they can take in new states.
I didn't eat steak.
I don't know. I'm sure they ate steaks, but no. There's no head executive. Most of the power lies in a legislative assembly. What? There are parts of the Articles of Confederation that do not work. They are really weak. Like the federal government can declare war, but it can't raise troops. So that doesn't really work out. If they even can organize troops, they can't tax in order to pay for the troops. There's just things in the Articles that don't work once it goes into practice. 24, Peace of Paris, or the Treaty of Paris, ends the Revolutionary War. United States becomes independent. Britain can keep Canada, but the United States is independent. Are there any questions about the first page?
Are we going through all 200 today?
I hope not.
Probably not, but we're going to get as far as possible. 25, the Northwest Ordinances of 1784, 85, 87. They have to do with settlement in the West, the distribution of land into towns, public education, and creation of states. That's all you really need to know. Settlement in the West, distribution of land into towns, public education, and the creation of states.
Miss, the Declaration of Independence was written in 1776.
1776. Declaration in 1776.
And
Those dates should be on there for you.
What was the last one?
Settlement in the West, distribution of land into towns, public education, creation of states.
So that's why we're here?
Yes, far here, public education.
Because of the Northwest
I don't know if
Party?
that's
Oh.
It sets up public education at that time. Public education now has gone through lots of things since 1787.
Man.
Well, it's 'cause Luke
Yeah.
You
Don't
really know
listen to
everything
me.
people tell you?
Luke is not currently queen of this classroom, I am.
I know.
Queen.
Queen?
Well, there is no king of this classroom. I'm the queen. 26, Shays Rebellion, 1786. Farmers are protesting the seizure of land and the debt collection. The Articles of Confederation, government cannot raise an army in order to squelch or put down the rebellion. So it shows a need for a stronger federal government. Farmers are protesting seizure of land, debt collection. Articles cannot raise an army. Shows a need for a stronger federal government.